Okay, hello. I'm doing my project on a open source game engine for Android called Andengine. I've been working with it since June, pretty much helping the original developer add new features and add various different things to the engine to make it easier for people to use. But one of the problems with, well, generally open source things, period, is that there's a lack of documentation and a lack of tutorials to figure out how the open source software actually works. So what I wanted to do is fix this problem with Andengine in that I wanted to create a few games based on some of the basics of the engine and based on some of the things people have asked me since I have become one of the main contributors for the project. I thought it would be good to find out or give people a path to follow for figuring out how the engine works and everything like that. So, what I wanted to accomplish is to give people an idea how the engine works, how to make games with the engine, and in that, how to make better OpenGL games and mobile games with Android, period, and with pretty much with mobile games, period, because there's a lot of problems with making games with mobile devices that typically don't come up when making PC or various different games with various different platforms, because you have limited CPU power, limited RAM, and limited resources to use with a mobile platform that you might not come in contact with a larger and more powerful device. Okay, this is the first game I created, which is on Git now. My computer's been broke for 2 weeks, so I haven't updated it, but basically this is what you have. It's a block break game. Basically, you can put in blocks, design the levels using an array, and you could bounce balls, and it teaches you about the basics of Andengine, which is a scene, which is basically the platform where you lay all your sprites and all your things you want in your game. I also wrote a tutorial about how to add the sprites and about the life cycle of Andengine, because it's kind of different for most game engines in that most game engines have one main loop where you update all the sprites on the engine, and then you update the physics, and then you update everything in one fluid motion in one loop. But with Andengine, it's kind of different in that it's broken up into 4 main things. So basically you load the engine, then you load the resources, then the scene, then there's a last step where you load in the complete and the interface and things like that. I also did the changeable text where the lives remaining change every time the ball falls out, or in things like that. Also did a simple level loader where basically you make a multi-dimensional array of any size, and it comes out kind of like where the blocks need to be, so you make it as big as you want and it'll come like that. This project is actually on the market now. You can actually download it, try it out, use it. A couple of people have, and a lot of people have actually looked at the tutorial so far, so that's been good. I've been getting a lot of good feedback on the comments and stuff like that, so that's been good. I plan on rewriting the tutorial though, because I'm not that great of a writer, but I do want to improve on making it a little more specific, which is kind of one of the things people have said to me that I should do. So I'm going to rewrite the first one, and there's actually been a couple of block break games that people have modified the code for in order to make their own. This is one of them. It uses pretty much the same physics, but they changed it to landscape and added more detail to it, so it helped some people. This is the second tutorial. I'll probably be uploading it sometime today. I haven't had time yet. So what it actually does is I want to use this tutorial to teach you about Box 2D and the physics of Andengine. So First one taught you about loading basic sprites and scenes, and this one teaches you about the using gravity, the physics collision, and box 2D. And it's if you remember the game Peggle, something like that. This is Speggle. It's kind of a homage to it. Basically, it's I wrote an engine, wrote code in order to make a simple way of adding dots and teaching you how to use the physics of the engine. And the last one, which was to create an editor. This was the last part of the project. I might want to create a third game in order to create an editor, but I decided instead to split the Peggle project into two parts. One part, it gives you a simple level loader where you can just put a two-dimensional array and put dots in a sequential order, kind of like the Black Break games. And this one, this extends upon that and gives you an editor, and it saves the stages as XML. You add lines of environment, pegs, gold pegs, regular pegs, and you can change the background. Basically what I've learned and accomplished for this semester. What I wanted to do, or what I'm going to do, is add a better design to the blog. Right now it's pretty plain. I still have gotten pretty good comments, but I would want it to make it more attractive for people who come to it in order to read the tutorials, in order for them to be more engaged and want to read through the tutorials and stuff like that. Also, I wanted to add more detail to the tutorials, even though they're pretty good right now. I want to add more detail into them because that's what a lot of people have been asking for. Even though I planned on making them sort of limited to the area I wanted to teach or talk about for each tutorial, I probably need to expand them. And I also wanted to add a counter to the blog because I have a limited idea of how many people have gone there from the link on the actual forum, but I don't know the full extent. It's been around like 700 people, but I'm not sure how many have been to the blog from just anywhere. So, any questions? Thank you.